EFCC and Nigeria's government, they are hypocrites. Now they first of all imprisoned, what's his name? What's this trans man? Bobrisky. They jailed Bobrisky for this sharing, for this spraying of naira. First, before, let me talk about this worthless law. Honestly, the law, I remember so many years ago when the CBN enacted this. Honestly, that law is just ridiculous. Even powerful nations, for God's sake, what is your problem? Who enacts law against currency mutilation? For God's what? Anybody, if I have money, my money, I decide to tear my money. I remember those days when I was young. That was I think 82, 83. I remember those days we were arguing. In fact, my in-law then, who married my immediate elder sister, he up to tomorrow. We are talking about. He still remember that thing is still in his memory. He still remembers that. Honestly, so I was because I had a kind of temper that I can just damage anything. Then, as growing up, so I remember tearing. We were arguing as children, as kids those days. Growing up, and we're arguing, and somebody just dared me. I forgot what the person said, and I said, "What are you talking about? This is nothing. I can tear it. It's nothing to me." Because then I just felt we're living comfortably and whatever. So it is the 20 naira. 20 naira was big money then. It was green in color. I don't know what the color of 20 naira is now. Then it was it was green. I tore that 20 naira. I tore it into 4 places. So such report went to my family, and it was my in-law, my brother-in-law who married my elder sister was the one who the report got to first before it spread. See what in this guy tore 20 naira or whatever. So it became on the street, it became a talk of the street then, a sort of. So now you can imagine for somebody to come and arrest me because I tore naira. Barrister, it's my money. Whether Nigeria printed it, there's no doubt the country printed it, and so what? As long as it is in my hand, it has become my money. I can do whatever I desire to do with it. If I choose to spray it on someone and people are stepping on it, what does that mean, for God's sake? That law is ridiculous. I don't know what's your thought concerning that. Now, secondly, while I give you time to talk about it generally, let me add this. What do you think about Tompolo right now? Now, the EFCC, I don't know, they are now left between the devil and the deep blue sea. They don't even know what to do now. Tompolo is an untouchable person. We are going to talk more about Tompolo and his influence and his power in the South, whatever, because honestly, by reality, he's an untouchable person. I know you probably will go into that, why he's an untouchable person. Now they don't even know what to do. There's nothing they can do to Tompolo. The worst they can do is just to invite him and speak with him and talk with him. They can't charge him to court. We all know that. They can't do nothing to him. Now they have jailed one person on this. They've laid precedents. To continue on this precedents now I don't know. How do you expect them to what do you expect? How do you expect EFCC to navigate through this prospective shame that they want to put themselves into?
Yes, I have never supported that law about defacing or denigrating the national currency. Is one of the things we have serious issues to deal with in the country. And I have said repeatedly that we chase shadows instead of chasing the real issues we have. The FCC was set up to combat financial crimes. Spraying of money at occasions, whether you spray it on the ground, is not financial crime. Defacing money is not financial crime. I do not see why, in my excitement with my money, I should not throw it in the air, let it fly, and let people in an occasion take it. Why should that be a criminal offense? Why should that be criminalized? But we have a National Assembly that chases shadows instead of reality, instead of real issues. So they passed the law. Now, the first person we can think of that was taken on was that Bobrisky that you mentioned. But thereafter, what they do now, when you know this Cubana, the chief priest,
Yes, Obi Kubana
was also accused of doing the same
yes.
thing. And he was
Okay,
invited.
chief priest, not
And
Obi
then
Kubana. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead. It's in court now, right? Yes.
it's the same person, chief priest and Cubana.
No.
It's
Obi
the same
Kubana are they
person.
different? Oh, no. Oh, you are mixing it up. They are two different people. They are two different personalities. Obi Kubana is the one who buried his mom with a whole lot of the burial that actually.
Yes,
So we have
he.
Kubana chief priest, which is different.
Oh, I thought it's one and
No,
the
they are
same
two
person.
different personalities.
Now, EFCC called him, and they ended up. He ended up into a laughing matter. Let him promote the naira and its integrity. So I believe this is how it is going to end up with Tompolo.
Tompolo, yeah.
They will call him and say, "Look, you did this thing. We can charge you, but instead, why don't you go out there and promote the integrity of the naira as a national currency and let people treat it with respect." And this thing, I believe that is how that thing is going to end up. There is nothing that they will do to Tompolo. Coming back to Tompolo, I remember where he comes from. This man was a general in the Niger Delta insurgency.
Yes.
They used to call him, his name is General Government, Ekpemopolo, something like that.
Yes.
So they normally call him Tompolo. But his name is, he has a very unusual name, Government. So I don't know how somebody will take the name of government. But at a point, I don't know whether it is Obasanjo or Jonathan's government. You know, he was declared wanted.
Now, it was Obasanjo's government. Jonathan didn't have the backbone to.
Yeah, but Obasanjo's government.
Obasanjo.
They sent the army killed his father.
Yes.
The army ransacked and burnt his houses, whatever. No matter what they did, they were not able to get him. Somebody who was on the most wanted list of the security apparatus of Nigeria emerged as the most sought after person. He was given all the contract to protect the Niger Delta pipelines. Starting from Yaradua's government up to today, his company Tanitra is the one who have official contract from the federal government to protect the pipelines. And he has been allowed to have a security force, armed security force, to protect the pipelines. So he has army. He has a sort of paramilitary armed
permitted by the government.
Permitted by the government under his command in the guise of.
That's why they call him government. That's why his name is government. Go ahead, please.
In the guise of protecting the pipelines, and he has done a brilliant job because at a point we were out of our open quota of 2.2 million barrels per day. We have come down to 600,000 barrels of crude oil. Everything everywhere was sabotaged. People were stealing. They used to bring ships in the high sea, run pipelines, miles and miles of pipeline from the pipeline ports into the high sea to evacuate this thing. And we were producing far below the OPEC quota assigned to us. His company and his activities have helped us to our production to climb up to about 1.8 million barrels that we are producing today. So he is a force to reckon with. There's nothing that EFCC can do to him. He is somebody that you can call a cat with 9 lives. Because he could easily have been killed if he had been caught during Obasanjo's time. But look at how powerful he emerged and has become. He's virtually indispensable today. Any government that comes finds it difficult to do away with him because they need the flow of oil. They need the steady increase in the flow of oil for the revenue of the government and the politicians. And he is helping that. He has, in terms of wealth, he has become super rich.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I believe what will happen is EFCC will call him and say, look, help us to promote, run a campaign of integrity and respect for the naira. And they will both do a joint conference and he will sign on to it, and that will be the end of the matter.
Let me ask
that's
now.
My,
let me ask you another question. As a lawyer, now put on your lawyer toga. Your law toga, rather. Because the truth is, I'm enraged because I'm such a person who believes in one standard. I don't play double standard. That's my lifestyle. For people who know me, who are close, they know me. I don't play double. No matter, I don't play favoritism. No matter how close you are to me, I apply the same standard to everyone. And I expect people in leadership to actually do same. And now you have scapegoated Bobrisky. You've used him as scapegoat. He is the one and only person you have prosecuted. And so probably because he does not, I don't know why. Why did you do that? Why was he used as a scapegoat? I don't know. As a lawyer, can I ask you this question? If I was in Bobrisky's shoes today and such thing happened, I will sue EFCC to court for double standards. I don't know. Can I do that? Can Bobrisky do that?
You cannot sue them for double standard. That is not an actionable thing that you can take to court. The prosecutor have wide discretion to prosecute or not.
Wow.
Remember that. A prosecutor has discretion to prosecute a particular case or not. And the highest you can do is to move by what we call prerogative writs. We have prerogative writs of certiorari of mandamus. If a public official has not done his job, his statutory duty, you can go to court for the High Court to issue what we call a writ of mandamus to compel that public official to do that public duty that the law enjoins him to do. Now, there are all manner of problems with that. The problems are the prosecutor or that public official also have discretion in many ways in investigating what to investigate, in prosecuting, whether to prosecute or not. After investigation, the prosecutor takes a decision to prosecute or not. And if you put him in a straitjacket, the law recognizes that he has to have discretionary wide powers over that. Because if you put him in a straitjacket, you are making things worse than that. If you say he must prosecute at every time, it is not ideal, because you can make. Okay, if you say somebody must investigate, remember Delegiwa went to court repeatedly. Gani Fawemi went to court repeatedly to compare the prosecution of General Babangida and Akilu, General Akilu, General Togun, on the murder of Delegiwa. The problem is that I am the IG, or I am the Attorney General. You want me to prosecute somebody. I said I do not have sufficient evidence. I will say I do not have sufficient evidence to prosecute. That ends the matter. That will end the matter. Or I do not believe that this prosecution will be successful. That will end the matter. So there are these discretionary issues. So while we have a writ of mandamus, it is very rarely used for the simple reason that these public officials have wide discretionary powers. So when you are saying if you are Bobrisky, you will sue them, I ask, sue them for what? For double standard. Double standard is not something that you can sue. It's not a tort. It's not a criminal issue. It's not something that you can sue and claim damages. So it will not constitute a reasonable course of action.
Because what I wanted to why I asked that question is what you just mentioned now. These damages might be claiming damages because okay, I did something. I was prosecuted, incarcerated for 6 months, and I was punished. Other people are doing the same thing. They are not punished. So I deserve to be compensated for doing something that everybody does.
That is standing law and logic on his head. You were rightfully and lawfully convicted for a crime, and you deserve the punishment. That ends there. The fact that another person who in your own eyes also committed the same offense was not prosecuted or convicted does not make you innocent of the crime you were convicted. You still remain guilty for what you are, and you are entitled to the punishment that was given to you. So on what basis should damages be paid to you? You have no basis. You are a criminal. So you have no basis to ask for damages. The highest you could ask is that those people should also be prosecuted, just like I was. That is the highest you could ask for. But then, like I explained, they have wide discretionary powers to do or not to do.
All right. Thank you so much for that. But it's so sad. It's so sad, honestly. This is, I hate systems like this. The same thing, too, is happened during, in America, during the Joe Biden era, where you have selective justice, which is unbelievable. And that is just, it can be annoying. Sometimes these justices, people who actually enacted all these laws, honestly, anyway, yeah, we human beings cannot be perfect. Nothing is perfect. But sometimes I don't believe that it's one-sided. It's one-sided in favor of the justice system. It's one-sided in favor of the prosecutors. It's one-sided in favor of both the prosecutors and the judicial. Honestly, just like what is happening in the US right now, judges are just giving some crazy. The same thing with what's happening in Nigeria. Judges are just because they cannot be held liable. I don't get it. Judges are just giving some kind of random judgments that actually affect the lives of people negatively. That actually impedes and is impeding the successful governance of the country, both in Nigeria and US, because they are doing everything now, everything necessary. The judiciary is really frustrating Donald Trump's policies. I don't want us to go into that anyway, but this is just my own thought. So honestly, this is bad. It is sad that the law actually, most part of the law is just against the common man on the streets. It doesn't protect. The law always protects the establishment, which is very, very, very disappointing, very annoying and irritating, honestly. All right.
That's why it's an ass.
Sorry, that's why what?
That's why they say that the law is an ass.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you expect it to go forward, it will go backward.
Honestly, that is
when you expect it to start, it will sit down.
In the case of Donald Trump, you see, that's why I like military. Honestly, some of these rules, that's one thing. I love Donald Trump, but the truth is, these laws that he's obeying, I don't like him. Because there are laws, these judges are giving clear judgments that are against the Constitution. They are deliberately being a clog in the wheel of progress in this country. They are just out to frustrate him. And everybody sees it. We all know it. Me, if I were in Donald Trump's shoes, honestly, I would not obey these ridiculous judgments. I will not. I am the government. I am the executive. I have the implementation is in my hand. The tool for the implementation of these policies are in my hands. I will just give my subordinates go ahead and deport whoever I want to deport and implement whatever policies as long as it is for the benefit of this country. Honestly, I'm not happy he's obeying all these laws. The man is really a man of. I like him. I love him so much, but this issue of obeying all the ridiculous judgments of the law is just not it. I wish he would apply that African mentality to disobey some of these laws. I would have appreciated it.